All right, guys. So let's talk about Endgame in Warframe. Okay. So I've already watched this entire video from Mogamo. Okay. You know, I am just blown away that Mogamo and Life of Rio are making Warframe content again. You know, I didn't think I would ever see the day that that would happen. Right. You know, but I think that really kind of proves a point, right? Is that you know, if you make a game that is really, really good and keep, making improvements on it and making it even better, then, people are going to take notice. And even if, they left for a while or whatever else, eventually, like, they may end up coming back. And that's what it looks like is getting ready to happen. Now, I cannot wait until they get the Steel Path unlocked and try and redo, you know, their mod run. Okay, that's what I want to see. I want to see them, repeat the same thing, the same builds, everything else, keep everything the same, but try that on Steel Path. Okay, uh, I don't think it's going to work out quite the same. All right, at least that's what I'm hoping. So what we're here to talk about today is Endgame. You know, I've been thinking a little bit about this for watching this video. Then I watched another video last night, and it really got me thinking about a crazy idea. That's what we're going to go over today. So the topic for today is what would make Warframe have a real endgame? And this system that Morgana's talking about here, I think is like the first step to getting us there. Okay. But I think there's one other thing they could add that would give us the true definition of an end game.
Yo, what's up, guys? This is Magamu, and apparently Warframe is getting endgame. And I almost want to do quote fingers when I do that because, man, I don't know what to think about this. So I had to make a video because we have been waiting for endgame in Warframe forever. If you were to cite the number one reason, why people take extended, and I mean extended by years, breaks from Warframe, I would say this is definitely one of them, especially when it comes to people with tons and tons.
Now, look, just to be clear, I am not in that camp. Okay. You know, at this point in time, I am, I think, one rank away from being the highest you can go right now. I think the highest is legendary rank 4. I am legendary rank 3. Okay. So I've been playing this thing for years, and it is absolutely my favorite game of all time. So I think what they've done here is they've created a game that has endless replayability. Okay. And that's the biggest thing so many games are missing. All right. You know, let's look at Resident Evil 4 Remake. That was a great game. And there may still be some people, that are still playing through the game, getting better at it, learning all the mechanics, possibly still trying to go through it with zero damage and this kind of thing. But that group of people is going to be pretty small, at least in my opinion. The majority of the people who played that game aren't still playing it. Okay, that replayability for them is gone. There was some replayability because you wanted to go through again and unlock, this gun or that gun. You wanted to get this thing, right? Once you do all that, well, guess what? That's all there is, to do in there. There's not a whole lot to do. After you complete the game a few times, like, that's pretty much it. And that right there is what kills me when I hear people ask, is this a grindy game? Right? And that's like one of the huge things is like, oh, this game is too grindy, it takes too long. to get things you want or things like that. So imagine you start playing a game, right? And it's something like Warframe. There's a code that flashes on the screen and it says if you put in this code, we will give you every single bonus item in the game. You will have unlimited ammo. You'll have all these things. Like, you won't have to work for anything. It'll all be yours, right? Let's imagine that. So you put all that stuff in, you get everything you could ever want out of that game, right? You play through it a couple times, and then, like, you just at a point to where there's nothing left for me to work for. I already have everything, so why would I continue to play it? Okay? By doing that, they have taken all the fun out of the game. That's what they've done. So, whenever I hear someone ask, is this a grindy game? My response is yes, and that's a good thing. Okay? The more grind there is, that adds to more replayability. Okay? That's what it does. And even after you finish getting all the gear and all the guns and everything you could possibly want, in Warframe, you still have a lot of builds you could make better. You still have, all kinds of different things you could keep doing and keep working on. And that right there is one of the biggest things that keeps me coming back, right? Because I just sit and think about, this Saren build. I think about this specific mission that, I died a couple of times here. So I wonder, like, how can I make that Warframe a little bit more tanky? How can I keep them alive more during the mission? Okay.
Thousands of hours, right? This is the most cited thing. Why is there no end game? So, I want to go through this. This is a new thing called Deep Archimedia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And I went looking for this because I saw a lot of people saying that Warframe was getting end game. Now, I'll
And bro, your mic sounds fine. Make some more content. Okay. Now, as far as making, like, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I also have a reaction channel. I do much better at reactions, not so great at making, you know, Warframe content. Okay. I'm still kind of like trying to get the hang of it, but it's quite a bit more difficult to be able to do this kind of thing. All right, but I'm working on it. What I really hope, once we get to like revealing what I think this mode needs to have, I'm hoping a lot of people are going to be on board with it. Okay. And keep in mind, I think needs to be an option that you can turn on to make the mission like a lot freaking harder. Okay.
be honest, I went through this dev stream and I don't think they actually say the word end game at any point. So even there, I'm treading very, very lightly calling this end game. The only reason I'm even conceding to it being end game is because that's what people are referring to it, right? So again, this is something called Dark Archimedia, and this is being made by Pablo. Now, already before even watching this, it gives me hope because Pablo has a real insight for gaming in general. From what I understand, I think I've seen him play a lot of games, and he has a decent understanding of like the mechanics of a video game, right? With his Warframe reworks and his modes and that type of stuff.
That is all facts right there. Okay. Pablo's reworks are on point. Absolutely love every time he touches a Warframe. Okay. And I think that needs to happen a lot sooner. Because we've still got quite a few Warframes that need reworks. Okay. My top pick for a rework would be Chroma. Okay. When they took away self damage, they really killed Chroma. And really the only thing they would have to fix with him is just make it so that the damage still counts. It just doesn't do the damage to Chroma himself. Okay. And man, if they would do that, Chroma would become the king again of damage. All right. He really would. And that right there could possibly be a really good way to test, the damage of different weapons, right? To go into the simulacrum, get a Kuvazar, blow it up at your feet, see what damage you get. Then you take, a whole bunch of different guns and do the same thing and see which ones, gives you a bigger damage boost.
So he has real good insights. So this deep Archimedia thing should be pretty dang on interesting, right? So the question is going to be, is this an end game for Warframe, right?
Now, here's one thing they haven't really gone into yet. The research points. Okay. What exactly we're going to be doing with those research points. And I have a theory, and I'm really hoping it's true. I think we may end up getting a vendor, okay, that is going to sell the shards and possibly have, different variants, right? It's going to have some Tau Forge, some, some regular shards, may even have some combined shards. And I think our research points are going to be what we're going to use to go in and start actually buying those things.
Shard system, trading it in, doing this system, and getting better rewards, right? Now, why do I like it? Well, the first thing about it that I really like, because it's a struggle to make an end game for Warframe, because to be honest with you, it's just not really built for it for some reason. It's Warframe kind of already is an end game of sorts, so it's hard to make an end game. But the first thing that they did is they have it where the items that you pick, right? So you can pick between 3 Warframes, 3 primary weapons, 3 secondary weapons, and 3 melee weapons, right? So as long as you match those weapons up, it adds more to the mission, right? So I already like that, because if I were to point out any flaw,
I think he means to say it adds more to your research value, okay, if you bring something that is in that list. With having, it looks like no consumables, having zero respawns, and having empowered enemies, I don't think there's going to be a ton of warframes that are going to be suitable for this. Okay, I think Inaros, I think Hildren, and Revenant. I think those are going to be solid choices. And then you have to look at frames with, abilities that has a lot of damage reduction. Okay, so those also might be solid choices. Another thing I wonder too is if any variant of a weapon that's shown there is going to work. All right, so like I see the comb, so I wonder if the Kuva comb and the regular comb, if those are going to work for the same thing. I think they probably would.
is that it just becomes collection for the sake of collection, and this system kind of cashes in on that. So like for instance, if I wanted to do these in-game runs, but I wanted better rewards, but I didn't have one of the 3 primaries, for instance, now I'm motivated to engage with Warframe's system of collection to make sure I have what I need for this weekly. Now the next thing is you kind of get sent on these missions. So it's 3 missions in a row. For instance, like exterminate, defense, and assassination. So you can't really go, well, I'm going to have a Warframe that's built where I'm just a Frost sitting on defense. You're really locked in, right? So it kind of pulls you out of that
Yeah, see, and that's what I do. Like, especially whenever I run sorties or I run the Archon hunts, for each mission, I decide beforehand what frame I'm going to bring. Okay, so I will get ready for the first mission. Then when I get back, then I already know the next one is a defense, so I need a lot of CC. So that means I'm going to bring Vauban for that. Or if it's an exterminate, then I don't need CC for that. I need a durable frame. So I'm going to bring Revenant for that. And like I have a ton of loadout slots that are dedicated to specific mission types. Okay, like that's the way I like to do it. I like to go for efficiency above all else. To have the easiest time with every single mission. Okay, because I don't like failing missions. And so for this, that is definitely gonna throw a wrench into my plans. Okay. Because like for the defense, I would have brought Vauban for that. But then for the assassination, I don't want to bring Vauban for the assassination. I would want to bring Revenant. So that means right there, I'm going to have to bring Revenant for probably all of these. Unless they make an Aros really good at doing this kind of stuff, then maybe I'll consider an Aros. Because it looks like he's going to be, a really good Warframe after the update. So these right here at the bottom are personal modifiers. There's one that reduces your ammo pickups by 75%. There's one that reduces your shields, one that reduces your health, I think. And I don't remember what the other one is, but that kind of gives you guys an idea. Like, if you pick every single one of those, you're going to be really freaking squishy. And that's why I'm saying you're not going to be able to bring anyone, out of the entire roster and say, this is going to be a good frame to bring, and then check all those boxes. There's no freaking way. Your teammates are going to be constantly running over to pick you up. Okay. So when it comes to that, I'm going to say yes, this is definitely getting close to being actual in-game in Warframe. Okay. But look, the difficulty of this right here looks to be like it is going to be insanity. Okay. But if they go and add what I'm hoping for, okay, it's going to take it to a whole new level. All right. Now, this channel right here, I just found them recently. And y'all, their videos are so freaking entertaining. Like, I've been watching them for hours and hours and hours, and I just love them. So we got Friendly Fire Argument from Viva La Dirt League. Okay, now, I'm sure some of you guys already have a pretty dang good idea of where this conversation's going.
Okay, nearly done. Just one more boss to go.
Yeah, man, the almighty Gelgaroth.
Oh, he's a biggie. We're gonna have to work together on this one.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, I'll get up on his face, tank the damage. You hold back, focus on heals and ranged attacks.
Yeah, sweet. Oh, also, I learned a new spell. It's going to be perfect.
Oh yeah, what's that?
It's called Orb of Hellfire. I can send out a massive ball of fire that just explodes in an area of effect, sets everything on fire.
Oh, definitely don't use that.
What? Why not?
Well, because like I just said, I'll be up in
Definitely don't use that. Okay?
his face and I don't want to catch on fire.
Oh, yeah, but you'll be sweet.
Oh, no, I won't be. I'm not immune to fire.
No. What I mean is that, like, friendly fire doesn't apply to it.
What?
Like, it only affects enemies, not allies.
Oh, so the fire can tell who's an enemy and who's an ally. That sounds about right, Ben.
Yes, exactly.
No, Ben, don't use that spell. I don't want to be caught on fire.
Rowan, it's the perfect spell to use. That's why I learned it. The boss is weak to fire.
I'm weak to fire.
Yeah, but you're not going to get hit, are you?
Of course I'm going to be hit. I'm going to be...
So here's the thing. What we were looking at to add difficulty, right? They were personal modifiers. So, what if they had another section they added later on that said team modifiers? Okay? And one of those team modifiers would be friendly fire on. And then, when you play the mission, it would only pair you with other people who also have that on. The team composition and conversations about loadouts, abilities, and especially AoE weapons, okay? Oh, you're gonna bring Gloom? I don't think so. Not unless you reduce the range on it, okay? And you can't, leave it on the entire time either. Because if you start slowing us down, we're gonna tell you, you got to turn that off. Because first thing is you're gonna be slowing us down, then you're gonna be leeching health and everything off. You're gonna wipe out your entire team if you ain't careful with that.
Up in his face, and I don't want to be set on fire.
Just trust me, okay?
Why on earth would I trust you?
Oh, I don't know, Rowan. Maybe because every single time I'm right about this shit, and yet every single fucking time you still doubt me.
Look, Ben, just don't use the spell. Don't use it. It's...
Here, I'll show you.
No, don't show me.
Oh,
Ben, what are you doing? No,
See? Ow.
Oh, good one, Ben. What did I say?
I don't know what happened. I was sure, that this didn't affect allies.
I told you not to use the spell.
Oh, I see what happened. Ow.
Yeah, I see what happened as well, Ben. You set us on fire. I was right. You were wrong.
Well, ow. Not exactly. Ow. It didn't set us on fire. Ow. I set the ground around us on fire. Ow. Which in turn made us catch fire. Ow.
Oh, f off, Ben. Just admit you were wrong.
But I wasn't wrong. Ow.
Well, we're both on fire.
Yes, but only
You set us
because-
on fire,
no,
Ben!
No, ow. Technically, I set the ground on fire.
Well, technically, you can f off.
Well, technically, that's outrageous. Outrageous. Ow. Ow. Ow.
And technically, VRDR.shop is your best source of the finest merch in all the land.
Yeah, you want some fire merch?
That shit, he sets shit on fire, we set our merch on fire. Not
Whoa.
literally. Where's the camera?
Yeah, not literally, it's right there.
There.
So, when I actually watched this video, I had that thought. What if that was something we had to worry about in Warframe, right? Because right now, truth be told, we have it easy. Because we can throw out so many different AoE weapons, abilities, slow them down, steal their health, do all these other things, and none of it affects, our teammates in a negative way, right? And so what I was thinking about was, what if it did, right? What if we had the option to run that in-game mission with friendly fire on? So, alright, that's it for now, y'all.